Okay.
Okay.
The Independent Baptist Online College. I'm Bob Gray Sr., founder of IBOC, and technology is wonderful, isn't it? My grandkids know more about it than I do, but we're learning, and this is a fabulous tool for training and for educating, and we're just thrilled to be able to use this venue in order to train the next generation. Independent Baptist Online College is a ministry of Victory Baptist Temple of Elyria, Ohio, and Dr. Jeff Smale is the pastor, and then he serves as president of Independent Baptist Online College and brings a lot to the table, and we really appreciate his expertise and all that God has done in his life to prepare for this. This is an exciting thing to be able not just only to train those here in America, but worldwide. The internet's everywhere, and we'll be able to reach a lot of countries and train leaders, potential leaders, and soul winners, and pastors, and so on. And so we're tickled to be a part of this. Now, this is being videotaped. I'm hoping that we're training leaders, getting it all videotaped for you, so that you can go back and take a look at it again, or share it with other folks. And there's a chat room. And feel free to use that chat room, and we'll try to monitor that as we go along. There are 4 administrators involved in Independent Baptist Online College, and they have 116 years of pastoring experience. And if there's a focus that we have, it's on using those who've been in the ministry for 20 years or more and who have the experience. And our faculty is just the best. They've been at it a long time, and God has really blessed their ministries, and so to have them to teach the next generation is an exciting thing. And the 4 administrators are Dr. Michael Callahan, who's our administrative dean. Dr. Jeff Smale is the president and our academic dean, and Dr. Dave Baker is our vice president and is doing a marvelous job of trying to help us with this webinar and to get it to working. And so I hope that you're we're taping this now so that you can go back and take another look at it. So let me first of all introduce you Dr. Michael Callahan, who is in charge, our administrative dean. And Dr. Callahan is the newest member of our administration, and we're certainly proud to have him here. A veteran and a man who is a great soul winner and doing a tremendous job. Dr. Callahan, you're up right now.
All right. Thank you, Brother Gray. Appreciate that introduction. I just want to introduce myself to you. I am the pastor of the Arlington Baptist Church in El Cerrito, California. I celebrated my 25th anniversary just a couple of months ago. And before that, I was in Cape Girardeau, Missouri, pastoring the Liberty Baptist Church there for 6 years before moving out to California. One of the first things that I did when I came here as pastor 24 years ago is I asked God to call some of the young people in my church to the ministry. I wanted to influence the next generation. I knew I wasn't going to be around forever, and so we had to have some people to take our places. And so God did call some of our young people to the ministry, called older men also as well into the ministry under my preaching, and we sent them off to Bible college. And to be honest with you, pastors, for a little while it devastated our ministry. We lost a lot of our good workers to other ministries where they were going to Bible college, and it took us several years to recover and to get back in the swing of things, trying to replace those workers that we lost that went off to Bible college. I'd even thought about starting my own Bible college, but the cost was just prohibitive. The staff that we had were already busy doing other things. Just to add some things to them was just out of the question. And plus, a lot of them were not proficient in other areas that we needed to educate our young people in. And of course, the cost of hiring staff was in moving them to California and setting up in a housing and all that kind of stuff was just prohibitive. And so I became frustrated until I discovered the Independent Baptist Online College. When I first heard of the concept and ministry, how that we could keep our young people in our pews that God had given us and teach them and train them in our pews was just phenomenal to me. I thought to myself, here's the answer. And Pastor, you through the church chapters can have a Bible college of your own. I'm sure that you have probably felt the frustration, just like I as a pastor felt the frustration of sending your kids to the ministry. A lot of the kids that we sent off to Bible college, some of them didn't finish. Some of them stayed in the ministries or the churches of the Bible colleges that we sent them to. And those that did graduate, not every one of them went in the ministry. So the retention rate was very, very low for us. And probably you can attest to the same thing if you've sent kids off to Bible college as well. Now, Pastor, here's the thing about it. God gave those people to you. You won them to Christ. You baptized them. You sent them to be taught and trained through your Sunday school classes, through your ministry. They got involved in your ministry and everything. Why in the world would you want to send the people that God gave you to be taught and trained in somebody else's ministry, you see? And so God has given you the opportunity to be able to have your own Bible college through these church chapters of Independent Baptist Online College. Now, here's the thing about it, Pastor. Who knows your people better than you do? And by the way, who cares about your people more than you do? God gave them to you. God gave you a heart. You're the gift, the Bible says, of your people. And they have a heart for you, and you have a heart for them. And so you can keep tabs on them a lot better than perhaps maybe some other pastor whose ministry they did not grow up in. But think about this, Pastor. They can stay in your pews, continue to work in your ministry, stay at their present job, and by the way, tithe in your church, and never have to leave home to get their Bible degree. Pastor, you provide the leadership. We will provide the curriculum and faculty for you. And by the way, Pastor, you can be as involved or detached in the Bible college as you like. It's up to you. It's your Bible college. This is your opportunity, by the way, to continue to influence your own people that God has given you. Now, Pastor, you're in charge. This is your college. This is your ministry to your young people that are training for the ministry. Now, you may ask, what about campus life? What am I going to do? I don't have a bowling alley for them to go to, and I don't have a putt-putt golf place for them to play. What about campus life? We believe that church life is way more important than campus life to the life of your students. Your students can be such a blessing and a help to your college and career ministry by encouraging those that are in that Sunday school class to keep on living on for God. You can use those that are training for the ministry to be able to minister to those in your college and career Sunday school class. Now, you're not limited to the staff at your church. As I said before, my staff is too busy to be able to teach and train and take on any other kind of responsibilities. We have some of the greatest minds on our faculty in the world, not just in the United States, but in the world. And they're on our faculty. Many of them have years of experience that they're bringing to the table to be able to teach and train your young people. Many times, pastors, a Bible college will take a senior who did really good in their Bible college, and when he graduates, they'll automatically put him on staff to teach your kids how to do the ministry, but have never done it before. Here we have some of the greatest Christian educators in the world that are available to you to teach your young people. Now, Pastor, your students can take classes, and this is a great thing about it. Your students can take classes any time of the day or night. They can work around their schedule. They don't have to be at a class at a certain time. They can work around their schedule, around their needs. And by the way, the cost of the Bible College for your students is just a fraction of what other colleges charge. So what happens is your students don't get in debt right off the bat. And perhaps maybe you have to drop out of Bible college. And so we make it available for you to provide this means for your students to be educated at a fraction of the cost of other Bible colleges. Now, Pastor, this is the future of education. Most of the large secular universities, as well as the large Bible colleges across America, across the world, are going to online colleges, online education. The reason why is because we're not bound by the teachers that are on our campus. We can glean from the minds of teachers and faculty from all around the world. And also, we don't have large overhead debt on college campus buildings like other Bible colleges do. And so we can charge your students just a fraction of the cost. Now, we have a way to assist you to educate your own without them having to ever leave home to get their degree. And the best part is, Pastor, there is no cost to you or your church. Now, when you start, when your student, get this, Pastor, when your student completes their degree, they will march across your platform, they'll receive their diploma from their pastor. Isn't that wonderful? Now, after this webinar, I want you to go to ibaptistcollege.org, and I want you to click on it, and then go to the part that says for pastors. And then I want you to click on that tab, and down at the very bottom, there's a form for you to fill out. I promise you, I will get a hold of you, and it's just as soon as possible to give you some information on starting and operating your own Bible college through church chapters of Independent Baptist Online College. Now, another great thing about it is that you can name this college anything you want to. Independent Baptist Online College of Arlington Baptist Church. Independent Baptist College of Richmond, California. Or you could even name it Callahan Baker Independent Baptist Online College. And of course, Callahan went first, and you'll understand why. But anyway, you name the college just anything that you want, because it's your college, Pastor. We provide the curriculum, we provide the faculty for you, you provide the leadership. So please get in touch with us just as soon as possible. All right, back to Dr. Gray.
Thank you, Brother Callahan. The credit per hour is $100 per credit hour, which there's just no way it can be compared to other colleges, because it's just our goal here is to present this these faculty members to your students, and to help them. A lot of men just is prohibited. They can't move away, can't go to college, and so this will provide a way for them to get their education. And of course, we're excited about starting churches in the area where you are, Pastor, and helping you with your young people. Now, let me introduce to you Dr. Jeff Smale, who is not only the pastor of Victory Baptist Temple, but also president of Independent Baptist Online College, which we are a part of. And Dr. Smale, if you would you come and talk to us, please?
Okay, thank you, Dr. Gray, and welcome, pastors. Welcome to the friends who are also a part of this webinar. We're so glad to have you with us, and we're hoping that this will answer a whole lot of questions that you may have and put you into the right heart of prayer, that you might be able to help your students in your church, whatever age. And we know that the students we have now in our college, many of them are older students, but we're also young students. But we want to help the pastors to help their members and to work with their members. And I, as a pastor, as well as Dr. Baker, Dr. Callahan, we have the same burden, the same goal. We can help our young people in the ministry to get to where God wants them to be in His will. And there's some things about our college that are very exciting. I'm going to talk to you about the practicality of our education process. We call it NOW. You might have seen it on the website if you've gone to ibaptistcollege.org. You might have seen NOW somewhere in the website. And it's an acrostic that stands for No One Waits. We're about getting involved right away. Sometimes, and I think of one man in particular in my ministry who during the summer just didn't stay with the stuff while he was in preparation to go to Bible college. Sometimes you lose some of these students because they wait too long to get started. Well, our college is set up 7/24, 365. You can start right now. You don't have to wait. In fact, you can enroll and get busy training and going towards the goal of God's will right away. And so it's a simple process. If you go online near the college, you can see the enrollment process. We have videos that show you how to enroll, and you take you pay for one class. You take that class, you finish that class, you're done, you move on. And what is good about it is you're not incurring a heavy debt and staying behind because you have so many things that are pressing towards you trying to get to the next level. You take what you can afford and you can budget that way, and it makes it easy. Now, the amazing thing about this, by September 1st, we're going to have over 50 classes available to you as the student. And then by the end of the year, that's going to bump up over 70 classes as we keep adding new classes and we keep developing the areas of education. For example, we're increasing, expanding the area of our music program. Brother John Early started our music program and is doing a great job with that. Of course, most people know who John Early is. He's played on many different CDs and helped many different singers and groups and has run music programs. He's a tremendous asset to our college. We're expanding our education program. Dr. Tom Vogel is coming on board our faculty, and he's going to be setting up our education program to be literally second to none. And we're excited about his work, his teaching, and his oversight that he's going to bring to our college. We're also expanding our missions program. We have missionary Tim Pledger and some other retired missionaries or missionaries that are coming off the field for a brief time are going to be teaching in our college and helping mission candidates with things that missionaries of experience can help them with. It's kind of like sitting down to a great man of God and listening to what he's learned. And you sit at their feet by your computer and you learn the things that they've already experienced and what they've understood. We also, this is exciting to me because this is a very unique class. I talked today with Dr. Keith McKinney, the longtime church host at First Baptist Church in Hammond under Dr. Hiles. He's going to be teaching a class on church hospitality and public relations. You know, you can shoot yourself in the foot if you don't know how to relate to the public anymore from a church standpoint. So he's going to help you to get through that and not lose your church in the process of it. It's a very exciting class. Now, the thing that's helpful about this is we're not a high-end, expensive college. We're trying to make it so it's affordable to you as your students are a part of this. For example, $50 is all the registration you have to pay for the student to get started. Then it's $100 a credit hour. So if the student takes a class that's just 2 credits, that's $200. And that's the cheapest you're going to find anywhere, but we're trying to make this truly ministry. And there's been a lot of hours of time spent in the development of this college and putting it forward. And if you paid for this, it would be a tremendous amount. But these men of God who are part of this have a burden. And we have this burden that we take the things that God has given us, the things we've experienced, the things we've learned, and share that with the generation behind us, doing our part to help the generations that follow. Now, the experience of our college is very exciting. The decades of experience, you heard Dr. Gray say 116 years of just pastoral experience on the administration alone. And then I think of some of these teachers that are a part of our Bible college. Dr. Tom Wallace, 85 years of age, 65 years of ministerial experience, and of course, longtime preacher and pastor. And he loves doing the online college. And you have a class from him. He'll be adding classes to that, and he is a great asset to our college. We're having this semester, this upcoming fall, we're having Dr. Wendell Evans teach a history class. And of course, I love Dr. Evans. I'm a graduate of Hyles Anderson College from the 80s, and he was my president then. I've had him into my church, and what a tremendous personality to be around and to learn the things he knows. He loves history. He's going to teach on our online college history. Dr. Les Hobbins teaches in our college. He's in his 70s. And of course, one of my heroes, Dr. Bob Gray Sr., who now just hit 70, is now also teaching a heavy load in our college. Lots of classes you get and glean from him. I'm just saying that this is a place of great experience. And I know one thing, if you don't get it from somebody who knows what they're talking about, you're going to be sadly mistaken in how it's going to go out in your life. It's so helpful to not just get the Bible principles, which are very vital, but also to get the experience background, come hit the ministry running, and be able to do it with great strength. So we're excited about what's happening in our college. These chapters are going to be a great asset to you, Pastor, and you're going to be able to do quite a bit with this to help your students accomplish God's will for their life. We're available. Anytime you need, you call us, you contact us, go to ibaptistcollege.org. Let us help you. Let us help your students. All right, I'm going to turn it back to Dr. Gray, and thank you for watching and being with us today.
Thank you, Brother Smale. I'll tell you, this is wonderful. The years of experience. This is not a money-making thing. We're here to help you. That which Dr. Hyles and Dr. John Rice and Dr. Tom Malone and the great men of the past, what they invested in us, will be seen and heard and felt through these classes. So you want to take advantage of the IBOC chapter, get a hold of Dr. Callahan. Let him take some time and explain to you about how that it will work and how it will help you to help your students that are going to enroll in college. Nobody knows them like you do. And you love them, you care about them, and no one can step in and pick up where you would normally leave off as you send them off. And I understand there's some that ought to go away to college, but that's your call, Pastor. There's some that should not. That's your call. You know the best. But you be sure and get a hold of Dr. Callahan and this chapter, because I believe that this is really going to help you. You can do as much or as little as you want to in working with your students that are called into the ministry. That's up to you. You choose what you'd like to do. They walk across your platform. They get a degree from you. You hand it to them. You know them. And then hopefully we'll be able to start churches all over this nation and in your area. Start churches of like faith and like order. I tell you, it's just going to be absolutely thrilling. So Dr. Smale is there to help you with the academics. Dr. Callahan's there to help you to start your own chapter, and so that you can help your students, those that you've led to Christ, baptized, taught, trained, went soul winning with them. You know them better than anybody, and you can help them to be what they're supposed to be for God. Now let me introduce to you Dr. Dave Baker. And Dr. Baker, I think he has 65,000 kids. I'm not sure. He's going to build a church one way or the other. But Brother Baker's a dear friend. He loves the Lord. And I'm just thrilled to be in the same yoke with these men. They love God, and they love our country. And they want to see what happened in Dr. Rice, Dr. Hyles, and Dr. Lee Robertson, to see this happen again. And it's going to, because these are the men that we're looking to. So I want to send you to Dr. Baker.
Hello, my name is David Baker. I only have 11 children, and God has blessed us with them. And I've thought about this so much for our children, for our church children. I've been a pastor for 23 years, and I've seen like every other pastor has. We've sent so many children off, young people off to Bible college, and a lot of times things have just not gone the way that we wanted to. We talked to one man, he had 14 young people in his college and career class. He sent off to Bible college. 13 of them came home. Finances, life, some demerits, things happen. One graduated. The one that graduated did not ever go out to the ministry. They just stayed in that local church where they went off to college. If that was going to happen, they could have stayed in his local church and been a part. We really, when we were talking about this, started to think how many more young people could be in the ministry, how many more churches could be started, how many more souls could be saved, how many more people could be reached if we were able to teach and train our own. When I have had young people from our church go to 9 different Bible colleges, good men, good colleges, but the things that happened were not exactly the way we wanted them to be. So we started a Bible Institute, and so we're doing Christian school during the day, church work during the day, and Bible Institute at night. And it was good, but we about killed ourselves and the staff because there was just not enough staff and time to do all that. And then next semester you'd have to teach the same thing over because someone's going to need that class. This way you can give great teachers, great staff, and you can do it from your own church. So, Pastor, here's the way this would work. Like Dr. Callahan said, well, we are so glad to have Dr. Callahan work with us, pastoring for years, great heart to be able to do this. If you're interested in this, then what you can do is have at your church a local chapter. We're not trying to make you be too busy. We understand how busy pastors are. This literally can be 5 minutes for you or as big as you want it to be. We would ask that you would meet with your students once in a while to see how they're doing and check on them. Or you can have a full campus if you want to. It literally is up to you. But this is an option where you can teach and train your own children and your own students from your church without having them go anywhere. Now, if you have any questions, we want you to type them in, and I'm going to facilitate those and get those to the other men. So feel free to type in any question that you have. A couple of questions that have come up, I wanted to mention them from the first. Some people said, well, what about if they need to go off to college? What about if they need to leave home? What about if they need to mature? What about if they need to find a wife? Those are good questions, and a lot of us did find our wives in Bible college, and a lot of people do need to mature and leave home. And so in thinking about that, we believe a wonderful idea called the Church Exchange Program. What that is this: let's say one of my sons decides to go to our Independent Baptist Online College. He goes for a couple years, but he does need to mature. He does need to leave home, and he does need to find a wife. And so I call up a good friend, call up Dr. Smale, and say, hey, I've got a young man in our church and college, and it would be good for him to mature, and what about him coming up and spending a year or two with you? And so now he has a pastor. He's transferred. Dr. Smale now will take care of him like he was his own church member, because he would be. And then that gives him an opportunity to learn in another church, to learn their system, to be a part of their ministry, and to learn and grow, and many times to find a wife. We're also going to have a connection place on our website where young people can connect to be able to get to know each other and friend each other. They're doing that already in all the social media. Why not have a good place where young people who are training for the ministry can meet and talk, and who knows what God would do with that. Many times people have gone off to Bible college and thought they were finding someone that was going to be what they needed, but because they didn't get to see them in their home church or in their home atmosphere environment, many times they got married and found out that was not exactly what they were getting. So anyway, we believe a church exchange program would be a very good way to handle that. Another question that we'd like to help people with is, Pastor, we would like you to be able to record your own classes. Every pastor that's been around for a while has taught a Wednesday night Bible study, and when you got done, you said, wow, Lord, this was really good. You gave me some great information. Boy, I'd love to get this out to other people. But how? There's really not a platform to be able to go somewhere and teach for 6 months what God gave you in that Wednesday night Bible study. Well, now you do. Pastor, we would like you to record that, and for that to be a class that we offer in our college. Your students can take it, and our whole college can take it, and we will pay you to do that. And we have worked out a system, like you said. None of us have taken anything for this as far as financially. We put time in to help this get started for you, but we want to be able to pay the teachers and pay the pastors well for their classes. And so a class that you teach, then we're going to pay you 30% of the tuition that comes in for that. And so if you teach a 2-credit course and 100 people take your class, that's $6,000 that we get to give to you, and that class will be taught every semester. Anytime anyone takes that class, then you'll be able to get paid for that. The other thing is this: if you have a class that you really want to teach, that you want your students to get, I use the illustration of personal evangelism. I taught personal evangelism in the college, and so if you wanted your students to have your personal evangelism class, then you can record it, and your students can take your personal evangelism class. Let's say someone believes, as we all do, a little bit differently on something, and you wanted to record that class for your students. That's great. We'd love for them to be able to do that. And so that is a couple of the questions that I wanted to go over. If you have any questions, I'm going to look in the screen over here and direct those to the different men. If you have any questions, please feel free to type them in the chat room over here. We'll do our best to answer them. And if you have something private that you'd like to ask, then we'll be glad to email you or talk with you on the phone. By the way, one other question that was asked in the chat room, and just so you can have it on the video, what's the cost for this? Okay, for your church, for your pastor, there is no cost at all. We're not charging the churches anything to have their own chapter. We're not charging the pastors anything to be able to have their own college. We are here to help you. We want you to be able to have a ministry where you can teach and train your own people. We truly believe that we will have so many more people in the ministry if the pastors who won them to Christ, who taught them, trained them through Sunday school and junior high and high school and graduated, we really believe we'll be able to have so many more people in the ministry and trained by great, great teachers. Many colleges now are having the people that are teaching just graduated last year or the year before. They've never been in the ministry. They don't have the years of pastor experience. All they're doing is teaching the notes that they got when they were in college. And I'm sure they're good guys, but they don't have the years of experience like Dr. Les Hobbins does with over 40 years, like Dr. Wallace does with over 50 years of teaching experience and pastoring. And so we believe we can give you the best teachers, the best training for your young people that we can have here. So I am going to, I see the question there for the enrollment fee. I've answered that. If you have any other questions, feel free to answer that, to ask that there. I'm going to turn it back to Dr. Gray if he has any other comments or anything he wants to fill in, and then I will put out any questions that anyone have. Dr. Gray?
Thank you. Thank you very much. The chapter fee has been asked several times. There is no fee for the chapter. The idea of the chapter really is for you to stay in touch with your young people that are called in the ministry and to be able to see how they're doing, and and then also for not just the mentoring part or the maturing part, but also for graduation, that you can have that. Your students would enroll, and then the $50 fee. And again, none of us we're not doing this to make money, that's for sure. We're doing this to try to help the young people. But thank you for your questions, and I'm looking here. Sometimes, by the way, you may need to refresh your screen if you're having some difficulty there. Let's see, the question came up about a certificate given if you choose to host a chapter. Absolutely. We'll be partnering together, and we will be able to help you. That's where Dr. Callahan is going to be a tremendous help to you in helping you with the chapter. And of course, the easy email contact with teachers and the faculty will be able to talk and speak one-on-one to try to be able to help. You'll have your class to 24/7 is just an absolute blessing. You could start tomorrow. It's not a matter of waiting for a semester to begin. This is 24/7, and you'll be able to get enrolled right away and find yourself getting ahead, and do it at your leisure when you can, and you'll enjoy it. The great teachers. The thing I love about it is the experience of the faculty. 116 years experience, pastoral experience, administrators alone, let alone men like Dr. Tom Wallace and so many others, and every area will be strengthened as we go along, and we'll be adding new classes. And I want to thank you for being a part of the webinar. I want to thank you on behalf of Dr. Baker and Dr. Callahan and Dr. Smale. We have, you just don't realize really how many hundreds and hundreds of hours have gone into this to this point. I do believe this is the thing, this is the answer, this is the thing for the future, And of course, I'm like you, throw a fit about the internet and social media and so on. Well, we can do that, or we can use it for the cause of Christ. And so we've chosen to use it for the cause of Christ. And these men that are teaching, we want to capture their wisdom and experience now before they go home to be with the Lord. Can you imagine if Dr. Hiles were able to teach? But these men that we have now preached with Brother Hiles, as I did, and others. And we want to give to this generation coming up the greatness of a Dr. Lee Roberson and Dr. Tom Malone and so on, Dr. John Rice, Dr. Hiles. I'm excited about this. I hope that you are. And you have any questions, you can go ahead and email those to me or any of the other men, and we'll make that available. But go to ibaptistcollege.org. If you'll go there and visit and take a look at it, any questions you have from there, you can contact us. This has been taped, videotaped. It'll be played, I'm sure, over and over again by many. But you can go back and take a look at it. And again, thank you so much for being a part of this webinar for Independent Baptist Online College. And we're excited about helping your young people and helping your old people, too, to be able to get themselves prepared for the ministry. And God bless you, and thank you for being a part.